Hey, we gotta draw the line somewhere. We have to protect our boundaries. The one thing I won't tell you is which of the hundreds of sex tapes is my favorite one. And you know what, Nina? I applaud you for setting that
Well,
boundary.
it's like Sophie's Choice, Matt.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
how am I supposed to pick?
Hello and welcome to Is This Good? The show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. I'm Matt Austin, and with me as always is production powerhouse Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi JD, thanks for coming. And today's guest is a stand-up comedian, writer, and actor from Australia who has appeared on Utopia, Taskmaster, and Deadlock, which you can watch in America on Amazon Prime. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, no big deal. She also has a Wikipedia page with a career section that ends with the following sentence. The actor also received media attention for making cat poop a trending topic on Twitter in Australia. What can't she do? It's Nina Oyama. Nina, welcome to Is This Good?
Hello, thanks for having me. Yeah, that's true. The cat poop thing is true. I was bored. It was the pandemic. You know, we all went crazy. Some people made bread. I made cat poop a trending topic on Twitter. Is mine more impressive? Maybe. Can you eat it? No.
I hesitate to ask, but how'd you do it? How'd you get cat poop trending on Twitter?
Well, Australian Twitter is very small, and so I sort of was like, I want to see like how strong my Twitter influence is that because my theory is if you get 10 people to tweet a hashtag in Australia, because it's so small, it will become a trending topic. And so I was like, oh, let's just see. But then like more people saw that it was a trending topic, and then they were like, why is cat poop a trending topic? And then that made cat poop like a higher trending topic.
Right. That's the problem with every trending topic on Twitter. You see something trending and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. And then every tweet is just, why is this trending? And then you're like,
yeah, and then suddenly you're
closer.
like, wait, I didn't know John Malkovich died. And then you're like, hang on a second. I feel like half of that stuff is just like fake celebrity deaths.
Fake celebrity deaths, or someone tweeting the name of an old celebrity, and then you go and someone's just like reappreciating a Donald Sutherland film or something. Well, why did I use that example? He just
He actually did die.
That's what I'm saying, Nina. You never know. That's
R.I.P. to
that's
the
how they
Don.
get you to click. But you know what? This actually inspired me to look up your Twitter, and then I realized to pay you a compliment, your pinned tweet. I didn't know this was you. This is one of my favorite tweets. You know which tweet I'm talking about? I don't know if it's I know it's the morning there for you, but I'm gonna read it to you anyways.
Okay.
Here's the tweet. You say, "We're trying for a child." I hear, "My husband's been doing big, huge comes in my pussy."
Yeah, that was me. I wrote that. It's insane that because I've done a lot of like writing work and acting work since I've written that tweet, and that is sort of the one thing that follows me around, which is it's nice. It's nice to have a thing that you're known for. Is it nice that it's big, huge comes in my pussy? I guess so. A lot of my friends are having children now, and they're like, whenever we tell people or whenever we hear someone's having a baby, we think about big, huge comes, and I'm just like, you're welcome, I guess.
Well, but you did it's funny because it's true in the best possible way, because that is what is happening, and it's about time someone called people over.
Call people out on trying to get pregnant.
Some people have it too good.
Yeah, what's up with that? It's weird. Heterosexual sex is weird. We're all animals.
Hey,
Anyway.
we'll get into it on the show. One thing I want to know is basically, I know you were gone when we were corresponding trying to book the show. You were gone for a month. You were traveling. I think you were in Spain.
Yes.
And probably your friends are tired of hearing about it, but we're not. So how was the trip?
It was good. I only got back a couple of days ago. So I'm still sort of like mentally in Spain right now. It was great. So we went to Spain for Primavera Sound. It's sort of like Spanish Coachella.
Oh, okay. Aware of it.
But it's better because it's in Spain and there's no influences. Like it's sort of like if Coachella was like had all the cool stuff and the great music and the great acts, but like far less sponsorship and far less people in like glittery bras taking pictures for Instagram. Anyway, I went to that festival, then we rented a car and we drove up to France and then to the French Riviera to like Cannes and Nice and all those places. And then we drove back down through Spain and then went to the south of Spain. Is this interesting? We went to like Granada and like Alhambra and like all these cool places.
Show us your slides. Show us the slides. That'll make it more interesting.
Yeah, picture it didn't happen. No, the slides, it's just like me smiling in front of a sunset getting sunburned. I got sunburned. But 2 things in France, I'd say like Spain was probably the most fun time because like we did a lot of fun stuff. But in France, we got robbed I shit my pants on the side of a country road in France.
Are those 2 statements related or unrelated?
No, but they did happen consecutively. I actually shit my pants first and then we got robbed. So maybe that's like karma from the French countryside for being like, you shit your pants. You shit your pants on our roads.
No, come on.
We take your iPad.
They want you to fertilize their wine fields. So were you robbed like in person? There's probably another word for that, but or was your car just broken into when you were?
No, our car was broken into, but like a significant amount of stuff was stolen. Like my boyfriend's laptop, my iPad. I think I didn't really care about the laptop or the iPad because I'm like, that's just stuff. We back everything up. It's like a tax write-off. You can live without a laptop and an iPad most of the time, I think. But we did lose his dad's like vintage camera. That was like a family thing, which was rad. We also lost a camera that had, I'm just going to say it because I've just been paraphrasing, like I've just been saying in a mysterious way, but essentially it had sex tapes on it. Like we bought a digital camera my partner gave me one for my birthday and it's like, we're like, oh, it's got an SD card in it so we can film sex tapes on it. And
wait, do you not have phones? Why can't you use your phone?
Well, no, but if you use your phone, it's like uploaded to the cloud. You have to hide the cloud.
Right.
There's like all this stuff where like if you shoot intimate footage on your phone, it's also like not as cool. Like I don't know if you've tried to make a sex tape on your phone. It's just like, ew, what is this? And then you try it on a digital camera and you're like, this is like After Sun but a porn. You know, it's like
so we're talking. This is 8mm fucking.
This is like A24 fucking porn right now. Like it looks vintage. It looks awesome, and I think there's something to do with like the crustiness of the pixels. Like everyone just looks great. So then you can watch it back and you can be like, damn, I'm sexy. Basically, we're just making our own porn of each other and then watching it like porn and having sex. It was very narcissistic. It's like Kanye, when Kanye listens to his own songs when everyone comes over and they're like, why is Kanye like, it was like that level of like narcissism. But we did this so we could have an SD card that, you know, no one could ever find.
But those things are so fucking small. I lose those without even trying. I lose those in the camera.
Well, that's on you, man, because there's a very clear hole that you put it in, you know.
Right.
It's demarcated. I don't know what kind of you're doing, like camera anal. You're putting it in the wrong hole. But I just
that's where the charger goes. Oh, that's why it doesn't feel good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is. I mean,
it doesn't fit.
It's digital, right? So it's like when people were doing sex tapes on film, you know, they didn't have that take where the director just said, you know what, have fun with this one, improvise a bit. You know, now we can just really make it our own. In the digital sex tape world. But no, are you worried that I shouldn't even ask you because you probably don't. No.
Like ask because I think this is the funniest thing about being robbed. The problem is I cannot say it on. Like I did an Australian radio show last night, and I was like, I can't talk about my sex tapes being lost in France because the other thing is like we did find my phone. And so we have the location of everything. It's all in this place called Marseille, which is sort of like the Las Vegas of France. Like it's a trashy, like gross place. And there's a section of Marseille where like if you look on the Google map, the 3D map of Find My iPhone, it's all blurred out. And that's because in Marseille, there's like a militarized area where like the entire... Like, you know when you go to Find My iPhone, have you guys ever lost anything? Probably not. You look pretty pulled together. I'm losing shit all the time.
It's funny that you say that because a few times I've said to myself, I should figure out how that Find My iPhone things works so that when I eventually lose my phone, I will know how to do it. And then I'm like, I'll do it later. And so I don't actually know what you're talking about. I know it exists, but I don't know how to do it.
Oh, okay. I'll just explain it. So basically, there's like a GPS tracker in your phone, and then you can go to a thing called Find My iPhone, and it shows you.
Yeah, no, I know that part. Look, I've thrown AirTags in all my ex-girlfriend's cars. You know, and that's for their safety, Nina. Don't worry about it. Okay, but so it was.
Well, it's like an air tag. Okay, I don't know how, like, Americans, man, you never know when they're like joking or when they're not. Like, it's hard to tell.
I know.
You guys are just so sincere all the time. It's yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I'm seriously concerned about your sex tape here. Though, just thinking.
Thank you. I'm glad someone
name...
is seriously concerned about my sex
Well,
tapes.
I'm wondering why I've seen more concern than you, but we can get to that. But could you think of a better country to lose a sex tape in than France? Like, those perverts have seen everything. They're probably not going to care that much about it. If you lose that sex tape in, like, London or something, those people are watching it.
Oh, fully. They are, like, so buttoned up over there. They are, like, yeah, I want it. Well, I'm just, like, because there was so much, it's, like, a year's worth of sex tapes, and it's, like, a lot of, it's really fucked up with some of that.
Okay, there's director's commentary on some of them. There's some deleted scenes. It's in the criteria.
They're all the deleted scenes, arguably. Like, it's all deleted. It's all the stuff that shouldn't make it normally. But I was just, like, would it be so bad if it ended up on French Pornhub? Like, I was like, because I did have this moment, I was like, oh my God, what if I, like, get, somebody's like, oh, we're gonna, like, you have to pay all this money to, like, not get you. And I was just like, I think because both of me and my partner work in film, like, it looks pretty good. I was like, it doesn't look bad. We know our angles. We shot it to watch it later. So I was like, you know what, maybe, yeah. Anyway,
is this thing on a tripod,
knows
by the way?
Louis from Marseille, can you please tell him to give my stuff back?
Tripod or handheld?
Just handheld.
Oh,
it's good. Handheld is like shaky. It's like a horror movie. It's like
it's very expressive. Okay, so if you had to give it a percentage, what is the percentage chance that you think someone will end up seeing it on the internet?
I don't think it's that high. I think French people, I think they're, like, sleazy, but I think they're sexually conservative. That's my take. So I think they'd be like, sacre bleu. No, I don't know. I think...
No. You could stereotype these fuckers that stole your shit. That's fine.
They did. Do you know the other crazy thing was, like, when the French police... We had to report it to the French police, and we were like, parlez-vous anglais? Like, do you speak English? And they went... Like, they like, make this sound. They make this weird raspberry sound. Anyway. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a high... I think it's got, like, a 7% chance.
Okay.
Is that a high... I guess that is a high chance. If you had 7%
No, it's more than you
lottery,
want. It's more than at rest, let's say. But 7%'s like, low.
But the fucked up thing is, like, part of me is, like... What if, like, these people watched it and, like, thought I was really hot? You know, like, you're like, but, like, what if, you know, you're like, but, like, maybe, you're like part of me is like, no, I don't want anyone to see my sex tape. Part of me is like, they're very, like, it looks good. It look like, part of me is, like, proud of it, but I'm like, I hope it doesn't leak. Like, you know, I have this weird, I obviously don't want my sex tape to leak, but then, like, part of me is like, but, like, what if it did? Like,
well, you'd be more famous. I mean, right? I mean, talking about America,
it worked for Kim Kardashian.
It worked
I'm just
for
saying.
Paris Hilton. It worked for Pamela Anderson. It works,
and it will work for Nina Oyama.
That's right.
You know, that'll be the top two things I am famous for, like getting fisted in a French Pornhub sex tape and and a big cum street, and that will be my legacy, and I'm okay with that.
And related, I mean, really.
Well, at least we know what to search for now, Matt.
We need to translate that into French.
Right.
If it's going. The problem is there's no French Pornhub, right? It's just all Pornhub. It's that's the part of the internet that's problematic.
I reckon it would be like Pornhub.fr. Like there's
but it's all the same stuff. It's not like they're fencing our good old American pornography.
I reckon French people watch French porn. Is that correct?
Do you watch Australian porn?
No, but that's because we live in westernized countries. Like, I think if I was European, I'd be like, oh, this, like, American porn is so trash. Like, I think I would want to see French people, like, being French to each other, right? Like, I also, well, look, I don't watch porn with the sound on, so I could be watching porn from different countries. I actually have no idea.
You don't watch porn with the sound, and that's on purpose, or that's because you don't want to wake up your roommates?
No, I find it too over the top and like performative. Like I think I find it gross. Like,
that's why you got to search
like,
term amateur. You got to type in amateur with whatever it is you're searching for. I think that's going to get more verisimilitude.
No, but I like the production. So when I'm finding myself, okay, cool. Well, obviously it's.
Wouldn't that be the best compliment if like it comes up only under professional and not amateur because it looks so good?
Yeah.
That would be incredible. But no, I think it would be like your mum from the 90s gets railed, like whatever, you know, it would be like, because it's like a digital, it looks vintage.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. JD, do you have Instagram?
Yes, I do.
Okay, while you scroll Instagram, have you ever found yourself comparing your life to someone else's?
100% of the time.
Okay, and when you do that, have you ever had the thought, I wish my life looked more like their life?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. You know what, JD? Mm-hmm. Me too. And you know what? Everyone that's listening to this has experienced that same feeling. It might look like people have it all together on Instagram, but in reality, they probably don't, because social media is just the highlights. And sometimes those highlights are completely manufactured. And if they were really happy, do you think they'd be spending all their time online trying to convince you how happy they were? I don't think so. That's why therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life. I've done therapy before, and it's a great place to talk about feelings of jealousy and insecurity and uncertainty. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, just like Instagram, but unlike Instagram, it's actually useful. BetterHelp is convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/isthisgood today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/isthisgood. Okay, so this is definitely going to become a one-person show that you're going to write, right? This is the start of it. You go to use the Find My iPhone. You can't find them. Eventually you do, but you don't ask for your stuff back. You just ask them if they liked it and thought you were hot. You know?
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, did you leak it? And they're like, no. And I'm like, why not? You know?
I think this is going to be a very productive trip for you. I think you need to go deeper on this. I think you need to go back to France and have some more plot points to it. What's the end, do you think? What do you learn about yourself through this to really, when you go to Edinburgh and do this show, what do you think holds this thing together?
Well, I wonder if it's like a love story. Like it starts, like meet cute, somebody robbing you, you hunting down your iPod or whatever. What did I lose? My computer and my iPad. Yeah.
What did I lose in this made-up story that I'm making up as I go along?
No, it's true. I've got the police report if you want to see it. But yeah, that's kind of a meet cute. You've never seen it before. Like a French thief steals what is it called? A digital camera full of. Mm-hmm. I can't, like, this is weird because even though I don't speak Spanish, every day you're like around Spanish speaking people and you're like mentally trying to pick up stuff or like pick up their body language. And then when I got back to Australia, I was like, I found myself reaching for English words. So that's why I'm a little bit scattered. But yeah, that's a great meet cute, is like your stuff getting stolen and then going to track down through Find My iPhone to find your digital camera that has your sex tapes in it and then falling in love with the thief. That's like a pretty epic.
But and you leave your boyfriend for the thief?
No, dude, it's like we're a chill couple. We're one of those modern couples.
Okay.
So
okay,
I don't know. I think like maybe Louis from Marseille could become our third. Maybe that's the journey.
Okay. I'm thinking
maybe it's like Cabaret, where it's like I'm having an affair with Louis, and then my boyfriend goes, and so am I.
That's right. You each start seeing him separately, but you don't tell each other, and then you see him out. What about like? Okay, this is probably a bad idea, but first idea here. It's just coming out of my head.
Yeah.
You are convinced it's gonna leak, right?
Yeah.
And so you are basically like, this thing is going to leak in the next, 3 months or something. So then that means I have 3 months to get comfortable with my body because everyone's going to be seeing my naked body and I'm not comfortable with myself. But then in the end, what you realize is, you know, it's a self-love story. It's about you learn to love yourself through this sex tape.
Who would love them? Well, I already love myself enough to make a fucking sex tape, so...
Multiple, a year-long project.
So I don't know if that one works, like, specifically for me. I like the idea that it's, like, a throuple story. Oh, I had another one. Oh, okay, no, I've got a better one. That's better than my one. Not better than your one, obviously. Like, you're the best.
No, I think
but...
it goes without saying this is going to be better than mine, but keep going.
Okay, so it's like a leak. It's like, I'm worried my sex tape is going to leak. So then I make a sex tape to get ahead of the curve. But the sex tape that I make also has a call out to see if I can get my laptop, my digital camera, my vintage camera, my AirPods, and my iPod back. So it's like my sex tape is like a double agent that's firstly trying to get ahead of my other sex tapes, but secondly trying to find my other shit. And then it's the sex tape is so hot and so fucked up that heaps of people watch it, and then there's like all these people in France start trying to hunt down my stuff, and so it's like a journey. Maybe it's like there's different people and it's like an anthology series where
it's the Robert Altman film.
Yeah. It's like Love Actually, but it's for all the different people. There's like a man in the office that's watched the sex tape that's trying to find myself. There's like a 16-year-old girl. I don't know what's the legal age in France. There's a 21-year-old girl who's like watched the sex tape and trying to find myself. You know, there's like a mom who's like bored. She's really into like 50 Shades of Grey and she's expanding her sexuality and she's like, wow, like this fisting porn is so compelling. Oh damn, I want to help her find her AirPods. I think that's...
And then there's a final scene where they're all running down a street together, united by your sex tape. And that's what stops this far-right party in France from getting elected somehow.
Exactly. And they're all from different like backgrounds and races and sexualities, and like I think that would be lovely. Okay. And then they fall in love. Oh, then they all make a sex tape.
They all make a sex tape. Yes.
And that's how we solve all the world's problems. Okay, one more. Yeah.
Okay, Nina, one more. Okay, you know how you were saying Australia, it's easy to get something trending on Twitter because it's such a small place?
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Because Australia is such a small place, you know that when the sex tape gets leaked, it's going to be everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So you have 1 month to get an Australian that's more famous than you to make a sex tape and leak it to take the heat off you. So basically, you had a month to film Hugh Jackman fucking someone and then leak it. You know what I'm saying? How about that? Because once Hugh's sex tape is out there, no one's going to care, no offense, about the Nina sex tape.
I love that. It's sort of like a reverse Boogie Nights. It's like you take someone that's already famous and you make them do porn.
Right.
Oh, yes. God. I feel like we can end it right here. We came up with a lot of good stuff. All right.
Is it good?
Is it good? Well, let's get into the is this good mindset here. Making a sex tape. Is this good?
I think it's good.
Okay. Perfect.
But I have realized a lot of things about myself, which is like, number one, I'm a perv, and number two, I'm like an attention seeker. And I think like having a sex tape is sort of like,
it's a good marriage.
Like the Venn diagram of those two things. Like I used to think like, oh, I would never want to like have a sex tape, but then I don't know. I like turned 30 and I got a camera and I was like, you know what?
Well, it would be funny if you just find this guy and text him and say like, hey, if you're going to leak it, because it's a year's long worth of sex tapes, can I pick which one you leak? You know, that way it's your best work out there. So, calling card. All right, some very quick housekeeping.
I think it'd be a real difficult pick. They're all pretty good.
It's true. What do you do when you? So it's all on this tiny digital camera. With that small screen at the back. But you've got a year's worth of them. So when you're figuring out which one to watch, which you said you do, where you just like click no. Like, how do you find them? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think we just like what. There's like little thumbnails. Wait, do you want a comedy answer or you want like a real answer? There's like little thumbnails. You can see like what's happening in the it's like actual porn. But it's on the camera. God, I'm like telling so much stuff about my life.
What's your favorite one, Nina? That's what he wants to know. What's your favorite one?
I'm not telling you all the details because your brain would explode.
And by the way, Nina, I grew up in Montreal, so I speak French. I speak French, so I'm gonna open the French phone book and ring every Louis in there till I find
In
him.
Marseille. I don't know. It could be a Louis, could be a Louise. You know, like it could be a girl. It could be a girl. It could be a non-binary person. You don't know. Yeah. Well, I just say Louis from Marseille because I think it's funny to say, but
It probably is.
There's so many Louis in France. Also, like when I was 20, I like dated a guy called Louis and he sucked. So it makes sense to me that somebody called Louis would be a thief.
Okay,
Yes.
so, hey, we got to draw the line somewhere. We have to protect our boundaries. The one thing I won't tell you is which of the hundreds of sex tapes is my favorite one. And you know what, Nina? I applaud you for setting that
Well,
boundary.
it's like Sophie's choice, Matt.
Yeah,
like,
I know, right?
how am I supposed to pick? You know, it's like...
Well, there must be ones where you look better than him. You know, it's like when my girlfriend and I take a selfie, I'm like, she's always like, don't use that one, but I look better in it. And then I don't want her to use the one where she looks good, but I look terrible. So... I just realized how boring I am that my comparison is a selfie that I take, and you're like, fucking sex taping
I don't
it
know.
up.
I just think selfies are such a, like, because they are of this era, like they are very, like, in the last 10 to 20 years, they're sort of like innate, they're like, I don't know how to describe, because you're putting it on the internet, right? Like you're making a selfie for other people to see the selfie, right?
Yes.
And that's why she's like, oh, and so like, you look better than me, you know? Like,
What, have you met her? How'd you know she talks like that?
because that's what all women sound like. They're like, and then men are like, but like you're making
My eyes are closed in that one.
exactly. But like I think because you already have like a third person in that selfie, which is the viewer. Whereas
Right.
like when I was filming a sex tape, I knew that it would just be me and my boyfriend. So we filmed it for each other. Does that make sense? And so like because there was no plans to put it online until now,
Right.
it was like really nice to film and watch. And it wasn't like we weren't looking good for like some, you know, for like our 100 Instagram followers. Like we were like, I don't know how to describe it. It was very wholesome in that way. I'd say like the vibe was wholesome. The acts were not. The acts were disgusting.
This is the goddamn Citizen Kane of sex tapes out there. I hope Louis actually watched it.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because, you know, I would like to watch them again. And now I have to fucking make some new ones, don't I?
Well, Nina, don't listen to this. I'm just going to speak directly to our French audience. Est-ce que vous, si vous habitez à Marseille et vous à le iPad, it's the same iPad, same. Actually, technically, it would be iPad de Nina Oyama. Vous pouvez donner-moi un courriel à isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. That is just
com.
that's me saying "com." It just sounds like "cum" in French.
It just sounds like
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you can actually speak French, Matt.
No, come on.
That's
What do you think
not
that
how
was?
people-
What language do you think that was?
I think you were making it up. I think you yes-anded your way through that entire thing. You're like,
Okay.
s'il vous plaît, iPad.
Look, you were just in France, Nina. You know that half of speaking French is going, alors, you know, so authentic.
yeah.
That was authentic. All right. Quick housekeeping. Let's start the show and get exclusive content. Now, our exclusive content is a little different than your exclusive content, Nina, but you can still go to patreon.com/isthisgood, and you could send topics for future shows / any leads on Nina's stolen goods to isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. That is CUM. All right, Nina, the premise of the show, it's very simple. I'm going to give you a topic. You tell me if it's good after what we just discussed.
Wait, this isn't the show?
Yeah, that wasn't the show. That's
like
just
the
the
intro?
intro.
that's just the
Oh,
intro.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, good.
But now,
Okay, let's do the
look,
show.
you said you couldn't be here for much more than an hour, and you've already done half of the show. So good for you.
Great.
And you didn't even
I'm a
have to
real-
answer any of my questions.
Time burner.
okay.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, and this part might go poorly for a different reason, but I saw on Wikipedia, and I know that Wikipedia cannot be relied on, but did you in fact go to North Sydney Girls High School?
I did go to North Sydney Girls High School.
Perfect, because my question is, because I went to an all-boys school, so today's
Yes.
question is, single-gender schools, are they good? And I mean, you could speak from your own experience or just what you think in general. I personally am a little torn because I see the benefits, because like if boys and girls mature at different ages or learn in different ways, or, you know, traditionally there's been less women in STEM, science, math, things like that, and boys tend to raise their hands more, and girls maybe feel like they can't talk, so single sex education might help that. But then again, I've read that there's no research to support that. So, Nina, feel free to answer this question. Answer in a real way or humorous way. It's all up to you.
Okay. Firstly, I just want to say, do you know who else went to North Sydney Girls?
Should I guess?
Yes, you should guess.
Nicole Kidman.
Yes!
Is that really it?
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, who else was I going to guess? Who's the next most famous Australian woman actor?
Well,
Natalie Imbruglia.
Natalie Imbruglia? Are you crazy?
Possible. I didn't know who to pick, her or Nicole Kidman. I was torn.
There it is. I was like, there's gotta be okay. Now that's good. That was a good joke.
Thanks.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman and I think Naomi Watts went to my high school. But I think Naomi Watts dropped out and went to a different school, which I also did later. But yeah, there was a big picture of Nicole Kidman in the lobby when you walk into my old high school.
And it says, we come to this place for magic?
It does. It says heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
That's right.
Because it does, because everyone at our school was depressed because it was a selective school. So you had to do a test. When you were 12 years old, you had to do a test. And it wasn't a private school. I just want to flag that. Like, we didn't pay any money to go there.
Interesting.
But yeah, in Australia, there are STEAM schools. So you can do a test if you're like smart when you're 12 and like the top like 5% of smart kids then get to go to these like things called selective schools. And North Sydney Girls was the second top selective school in the entire state. And so it was just like fucked. It was like a lot of pressure. And yeah, I don't know. I ended up just dropping out because I was like, this sucks.
And did this next school you go to, was that co-ed?
Yes.
Okay, so
and it was way better. It was way chill.
This. Okay, so why so much better than the all girls?
Well, so I think like girls are fucked. Okay. I'm just saying it.
Okay.
Girls are fucked.
I had that in my notes, but I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Well, you can't say it because you're not a girl. But like girls, specifically girls between the ages of like 12 and 15, are like and so are boys, but like they are like the worst creatures on the planet. They're psychopathic. Like I think that like girls aged 12 to 15 are psychopaths, and they should be like all put in asylums for that 3 years of their life because they are like deranged. And when they like get together and they're only around other women, like it fucking raises the psychopathy of the girls. So I do think I wasn't bullied, but I watched a lot of like bullying. I bullied a lot and I regret it. And I think like, yeah, it puts you in like a competitive environment, and I think it teaches you to like hate other women in this way. The other reason is because you're socialized without boys. So then like any boy becomes a prize, which is why when you finally get a boyfriend, it's like you don't actually like him. It's just like the idea of having a boyfriend is so good that like you then get a boyfriend because you're like, oh, this is the thing to have. This is like a little trophy that I have. But you don't actually care about the boy. You just sort of care about like impressing all your female friends. Like I think it socializes people against each other. Anyway, yeah. Also, my school was really homophobic, and I think like I didn't come out until there was like a lot of lesbian panic in the 2000s when I was, you know, growing up, and like I realized I was gay in year 8 or when I was 13, 14. And I was terrified to tell anyone because like everyone at my school was like, oh, like, did you know like this person's a lesbian? And like it was this huge thing. Did you know so-and-so's like a lesbian? And I was like, it was like this huge thing that you should be like afraid of, like lesbians. And so like I was scared to like hug my friends because I was like, oh my God, what if like I hug my friends and then they think I'm a pervert? And like that was like a weird thing that I had going on. But yeah, I came out when I was like 16, 17. I think I was 16. I came out on the internet and yeah.
When you were at the other school.
No, I think it was like just as I was dropping out of North Sydney, so I was
Okay,
sort of like,
that was your mic drop moment. You were like,
Yeah.
by
It
the
was
way,
like
I'm gay. Bye.
yeah, bye. And then I like shaved. I had like an undercut, I shaved the side of my head, and I had like the Skrillex. You know the Skrillex look with like really long black hair and like shaved head. That
Yeah.
was like.
Why do you
my
think I'm
look.
wearing a hat, Nina? That's what I got.
Oh,
And so
beautiful.
do you- and
That's
you think-
hiding all that beautiful hair.
I know. Do you legitimately think that this like? Because I suppose the counterpoint would be kids get bullied everywhere. Girls are mean at that age everywhere. I believe Mean Girls, the movie, took place at a mixed school. They're not called mixed schools. What are they called, JD? There's got to be a better
Co-ed,
word.
I don't
Co-ed?
know.
School.
Co-ed
Yeah.
schools?
Co-ed school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I just feel like I feel like I would have had better relationships with men if I'd been socialized around men, but I think I was just in a place where like any boy was like, oh my god, it's a boy, like it was just this weird like gender hierarchy. And I'm sure it would have happened at a same-sex school, but a co-ed school, but I think the normalization of like girls and boys being friends, because you
Yes.
are like thrown into class with each other, you are sort of like, maybe I think like all that stuff would have been worked out a lot earlier, like ironed out. Like I think it would have, been awkward for like the first whatever year or two, but then later you'd be like, oh, this is my friend and he's a guy, and then you'd be like 15 and it would be fine. Whereas I
Yeah.
feel like I went through all the way through to 17 just being like, oh my god, it's a boy, and then later I was like, I didn't even like, even though I didn't like men, I didn't know how to talk to them, and I like.
But I would
thought
say
they were
no
so
one
much
does. I
better
mean,
than me.
there's awkward teens at co-ed schools, right? I mean, there's shy boys that don't know how to talk to girls at co-ed schools. By the way, I don't know. It sounds like I'm really pushing for same-sex education here. I'm not sure that I am. I really enjoyed my school, and I do think that it allowed us to like not be very competitive and more cooperative, and maybe not
Yeah.
as distracted. I mean, if you're
Not
hetero and
my-
there's no women there, but they said that, but then they forgot about our smoking hot teachers, Nina. Like that's.
Well, they're at every school, honey.
know.
But yeah, damn. Well, I just think, I don't know. I'm super against same-sex schools. I think they're stupid, and I think like especially, I think with girls they make them like more competitive in a way that is fucked, and then with boys they foster this like sense of like patriarchal entitlement. See, this
Yeah.
is like, I'm like, I didn't
No,
genocide.
They kind of
but
do.
like,
They kind of do.
yeah, like it sort of it puts everyone in these like little bubbles that I think that people that are the best are people that have like mixed in a lot of circles. Does that make sense? Like I think
Yeah,
like
sure.
people that have had wider experiences are like more well-rounded on a base level, right? And so yeah, and I think that like when you're in a single sex environment, that's not, you're in a tiny little bubble. You're basically like raised in a bubble. And I
Okay.
think everyone should not be in their bubble.
Okay.
That
JD.
said, I like live in this, very progressive queer area in Sydney, and I never leave it. So, maybe I actually secretly love the bubble.
Well, we all take big cities and turn them into our small little towns, so I don't think that you should feel bad about that.
Wow, that's a beautiful quote. Is that like a John Green? This feels very like Fault in Our Stars coded. Like, we all take big cities and then turn them into our own little towns.
And
We
that
only
is the
accept the
perk
love we-
of being
we
a wallflower. A book I've never read, but I know it's a book. And it's something to do with that. You know
Yeah.
who said that? I heard it isn't a song. I don't remember who. I think it's a Hold Steady song. Or maybe it's a
I don't know who Hold Steady is. Is that like an American band?
It's an American band. They're from Minneapolis. Later moved to Brooklyn and formed. I just read a book about them, so I could get into the biography, but I won't. That's not what people come here for. JD, you went to a co-ed school.
I did.
I assume once you go to a co-ed school, because going to an all-boys school or an all-girls school, you kind of then spend the rest of your life wondering, what would I have been like if I went to a co-ed school? Do you ever think, what would I be like if I went to an all-boys school? Or is that a thought that's never crossed your mind?
Literally never come up.
All
Not
right.
once.
See, that's like that when you never consider the other side, like that's like someone who's happy with their life. Like that's like because I went to both, right? I went to an all-girls school, then I dropped out and I went to a co-ed school. And the co-ed school was like way better because there was like no academic pressure. We didn't have school uniforms, which I realized you don't have in America anyway, but there was something, and we called the teachers by their first names, and there was a smoking area. I went to a juvenile delinquent school, is what they called it, but because
like they call that to make fun of it, or it's actually that.
It was like that. It was actually that. So I went to a school. I went to North Sydney Girls, which was like very competitive, very intellectual, like very academic, very buttoned up, like always looking smart and stuff. And then like never showed up to class, and then dropped out, and then went to this school that was sort of like, it was like people from private schools who got kicked out of private schools went to that co-ed school. And so there was like this general like delinquent vibe, but it was more chill. Like everyone was more chill. Yeah, no one was like, it didn't feel like anyone was like fighting over boys or whatever. Like everyone was friends at a base level.
Okay, sounds like the kind of school that has like a very good ceramics program.
Yeah, it was famous for its like drama and entertainment program. Like
that's fucking perfect. Thank God you didn't try it all in school and got kicked out and got sent to this juvenile delinquent center, which sounds to me like a 10-month summer camp, and learn how to perform and do all your acting and comedy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if it like taught me that much, but it gave me self-esteem. Like they let me write a comedy pilot for my year 12 major work. Mm-hmm. And then I did that and I got like full marks. And I was like, that never would have happened at North Sydney Girls. They would have been like, write a short story about existentialism or whatever. And so like, you know, they'd be like, you won't get scaled well if you choose this subject. And so I think like, yeah, it actually did save me a little bit.
Okay, perfect. So I guess we're all saying not good. But no, I can't say not good. Nina, you're clearly saying not good. JD, you're saying not good. I think it does work for some people, and I happen to be very close friends with many people in my grade still, which now, you could say, well, that would have happened at a co-ed school. I don't know. There's something about just the boys broing down in this unpressured environment. It was very pressured scholastically, but somehow, I don't know, without girls there wasn't that competition. And
I think boys still bro down. I would argue that boys bro down co-ed school or single sex. I think you can't. JD, do you still bro down with the boys?
Sure, of course.
Prove it. Turn your hat backwards.
Bro down with Matt right now.
Oh, shit.
Hey, bro.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
I don't have a hat.
Nina, put a hat on.
I usually do have a hat on. And it's usually backwards.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You told us at the start of the show that you're not in your home right now, so that's okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Next segment, it's time for Unpopular Opinions. So, Nina, in this segment, I'm going to read you an unpopular opinion I found on the internet. We're going to discuss it, see if we think it's good, see if we agree. And this one is specifically for you, Nina. I guess they've all been specifically for you, but here's the unpopular opinion. Everyone needs to stop calling Australia down under. All right, so this is what this person says. Down under implies that the correct place to be is up over. There is no bottom half of the globe. It only appears that way if you insist on putting America and Europe at the top. And the only reason to do that is to perpetuate the idea that Europeans and Americans are the real countries, which therefore suggests that we are not. If you're happy to be looked down on as some provincial stereotype joke by Americans, that's up to you. I'm sick of letting us be defined by a 1980s tourism campaign. It perpetuates the idea that we are some sort of strange, exotic other. We're not. Just call us by our name. It's not that hard. Nina, while you give your answer, I'll just toss another shrimp on the Barbie. But what do you think of this one?
I think that's bullshit. I love being from down under.
Hell yeah.
Down under. Australia. I think that Australia is one of the, what's the word? Like, it sucks. It's like, this person is like stupid. Yeah, Australia sucks. It's like, we're so uncultured. We are like, we're a young country. We're like basically just turned 100. So we have like no cool architecture. Our history is terrible. It's just like fully colonialism and genocide. Like, it's not good. We have no like national foods. We have nothing interesting about us except that we used to be convicts, which is actually cool, ACAB. But like, we don't have a culture. Our culture is that we're trash. That's our cultural identity. And then when people come down here, they're like, oh, look at this. Like, the culture is that we're dumb, we're hot, and we're trash. And I think that's fine. Like, I think that's like a great, because also if you are like a dumb hot piece of trash, you can only go up from there, right? Like you can redeem yourself. Whereas if you're like from Europe, or I'm not going to say the US, sorry, I think the US is also a young country that has like
we're both Canadian. It's fine.
Yeah,
technically an even
Canadian.
younger country than.
Yeah,
That's why I speak
but
French,
like,
Nina. See, we're culture.
Like culturally, I don't know. I can't tell the difference. You like all sound the same to me. Is that bad? You live in America.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Canada. I'm sorry, Canada.
Oh, that's okay. That's just what I normally talk like, Nina. But for the podcast, I put on a different voice so the people don't think I'm stupid.
Oh my god!
I don't even know what that voice was. Actually, is that even that was like barely a wisp of an Eastern Canadian accent, I would say. But okay, hold on. So I was thinking,
expected you to turn into the South Park talking eggheads, where your like mouth moves off your body.
the top of my head and the bottom part of my mouth are detachable, so that's what allows us to speak that way. I thought you were going to say that Down Under is cool because it sounds cool, but you're saying that this person is wrong and that the way the map is drawn should be the way, and Australia is worse than America and Europe. And to chill out. Because...
Yeah, I think like culturally we're trash. I think we're culturally trash, and I think like you can only, if you start at the bottom, you can only go up.
Yeah,
that's my little.
But don't you think Down Under sounds cool in and of itself? Like down under where? What? Like underneath the basement where the grime and where the cool things happen. And down under like vaguely sexual. Like I don't know. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it really does sound fake. I haven't had toilets flushed the other way, which you would know if you came here.
Or watched one episode of The Simpsons. But yeah, I remember. I think it is one thing I'll say. It's important to know that the map doesn't look that way because of any kind of science. Like I remember walking into this kid's dorm room in college, and he had a map of the world, and it was hung upside down. And I said, "Why did you hang that upside down?" And he says, "Why did you assume it's upside down?" And I said, "Wow, we're really doing some independent thinking here at college."
Damn. I love that.
My
that
third
is
eye
so
is
good.
wide open, and that's the kind of asshole you have to be in college, right? But it is true that the map is not that way for any other reason than, probably Western-centric thought. But this person is not understanding that if you want to advertise your country, you have to highlight its differences.
Yeah, you have to, like, lean in. Like, you just have to lean into the down under of it all. And I think, I don't know, I don't mind. I think the thing is, Australia is just so far away. Like, it doesn't matter if we were on top of the world, we'd still be really far away. Like, we're so far away from everything. Like, we're like legions away from everyone. And I think that like maybe they're hurt by the idea that we're down. But even if we were on top, we'd still be like, you know, a 14-hour flight away from the rest of the freaking world. Like, we are like in whoop whoop. We're in global whoop whoop. Do you say whoop whoop in America?
Absolutely not. And I don't fully know what it means. I mean, I guess it means middle of nowhere. It
means like the middle of nowhere. Yeah. You say whoop whoop. So we're like, I think of Australia as like global whoop whoop. That's why like no one ever comes here.
Okay.
And when they do, they're always like, whoa. Like they're just like, I didn't even know there was civilization here. But
we say big whoop. We have big whoop. If you say something that I'm not impressed by, big whoop. We don't have.
I'm from Australia. Big whoop.
Big whoop.
Yeah.
I'm like, big whoop whoop.
And these are the cultural differences that make it so I truly don't understand you. I just don't. We have nothing in common. We just the number of whoops is not adding up to me. But that campaign is iconic. I think they're referring to that. They must be referring to the Paul Hogan, right?
The Paul Hogan.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you'll have to learn how to say good day because every day's a good day.
Oh, I've never seen this campaign. See, that doesn't play in Australia because we are in Australia already. Right. So you don't need to sell Australia to Australians because like we're already here. I think
Do you know who Paul Hogan is though?
Yeah. Crocodile Dundee.
Thank God.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that guy that represents your whole country. They put out one movie and we were like, that's what everyone there is like. Sorry.
In some areas they are, I'd say. In the Northern Territory. Actually, we had like Australians, we've got like a bit, like our tourism campaigns are really dumb. Like there was one that was just this really hot girl in a tiny bikini in the desert and a drone shot flew over her and into her like to her boobs, and then she just she said, "Where the bloody hell are ya?" Like that was like our whole tourism campaign. It's just like a hot lady going, "Where the bloody hell are ya?" Like that's like Australians don't even know what they're doing.
Is that what you say in Australia instead of like my eyes are up here? Like if someone's looking at your tits while they're do you say where the hell are you? Otherwise, I'm not fully sure I understand the joke.
I can't remember. It was more like it was like a tourism campaign, so it had all these like beautiful things. But the last image was like this girl on the beach saying, "Where the bloody hell are ya?" And the other really funny tourism campaign. Oh, that girl is do you know Sam Worthington from Avatar?
Yes,
that's his wife now. So, you know, it worked for her. Yeah.
So it's a giant blue woman. Very good.
Yes. She has a tail and she has giant blue tits and she's like...
In Australia, the ocean's not the only thing that's blue. Or large bosoms. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Highlight your differences. This person is wrong. This unpopular opinion is wrong. Right?
Yeah.
JD, we wouldn't say Canada. Come to Canada. It's basically America, right? That wouldn't be a good campaign.
No, you should say come to Canada. It's not. It's like America, but with better stuff. I don't know.
All right, I'll write that down.
It's like America, but we have French.
I have some connections at the consulate. We'll get that airing. We'll clip that and get it airing right away.
You can speak French. You can
do
speak Canadian.
You can do
what
it
can't
all.
you do?
All right, here's another one here. This one got me thinking. It's summer here. I know it's winter there, but put yourself in a summer mindset. No one should own a trampoline. All right, this person says, the number of kids seriously injured by trampolines is astonishing, yet so many backyards seem to include one of these monstrosities. They're an eyesore, they take up a ton of space, and once the novelty wears off, which is quickly, they're useless. They don't teach any useful skills, and they can't even be cheap, so why do people still buy them? You a big trampoline head, Nina? I know you went to an art school that probably had a class about trampolining, but what do you think? Because I hate trampolines, and I agree. No trampolines.
Oh, no, I love trampolines. I am like pro trampoline. Oh, I'm a huge trampoline head. Dude, who doesn't like jumping up and down and doing a flip? And there's so many
1
tricks
second.
you can do.
It's not even worth the effort that it takes to crawl on top of it and get your like toes stuck in those coils at the edge of it.
Oh man, no, I'm like a huge... So I did competitive gymnastics until I was like 12 years old. And so on a trampoline, that's like where I shine. That's like, if you put me on a trampoline, everyone's like, whoa, I didn't know she could do that. Like that was like my specialty as a kid. Like I would just try and do like a flip in the air. Or I would do a flip in the air. And then everyone's mums would be like, don't try that. You didn't do gymnastics. But I would be like, haha.
But you can do a flip on the ground if you did gymnastics, I assume. I assume that doing it on the trampoline is actually easier, so it's not really that much.
Yeah, exactly. It's safer. You know, you won't hurt yourself if you fall. Well, I guess you will if you...
Yeah, it's off the ground.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. Also, like, Australians love trampolines. Like, there's a trampoline in everyone's backyard. Hurting yourself is a rite of passage. Like, if you don't hurt yourself, then you, like, never know what it's like to be safe, you know?
High risk, high reward. I would say trampolines are one of the few things that are both dangerous and boring. Usually those two things don't go together. Usually something's dangerous, it's exciting. You get on, you do a jump. You do a jump. What do you do? After you do a jump, maybe another person comes on, then you sit down.
You do another jump. What are you talking about?
You
You
see
jump,
that
you
person-
flip,
You do another
you keep jumping.
You do a flip. You learn a trick. You're like... I feel like you're, like, not doing trampolines properly. Like, the goal of the trampoline is to do the most dangerous, impressive thing that you can do in front of all your little friends... So that they're like, whoa, that's cool. Like, that's the goal. It's also, like, good to, like, as an adult, not as an adult, like, as, like, a, you know, in my early 20s, if you went to, like, house parties and people had a trampoline, you always sat on the trampoline and, like, got drunk. Like, that was, like, it was, like, a good
cute.
vibe. You know, there's, like, a circle.
It's like sitting on a dock by a lake, you know what I mean? It's moving around
like
a bit.
sitting on the dock of a bay, yeah. That should be Otis Redding's, like, song if he was... in Australia, he'd be like, sitting on a trampoline.
Sitting on the coils of a tramp. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I mean, the danger can't be the only reason, because of things in a backyard, a trampoline definitely kills less kids than a pool, for instance. But I would say, talk about high risk, high reward, would way rather the risk of someone getting injured in a pool, because a pool is cool and useful, than a trampoline.
I think a trampoline. I think I'd. Oh,
Do you have?
guess
It
it gets
sounds like
pretty
you
hot.
want like. I think you're doing. You seem to be doing well. I listed your credits off the top. Could you afford a trampoline?
I could. I don't know if I would have a trampoline now as an adult, but like as a kid, I didn't have a trampoline, right? So like I had like a trampoline was like the best thing in the world because I didn't have it. And
Right.
even as an adult, like there are in Australia, maybe this is just an Australian thing. Do you have like they're called like sky jump? They're like adult
Oh yes, we do have those.
trampoline
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
things. Like they're a hit. They're a hit. Like why do you think people go on them as adults? Because like no one can afford to have a trampoline in their yard because no one can even afford a yard. But you can pay $50 to spend like 3 hours bouncing on a trampoline for no fucking reason.
Yes.
I just think this person who wrote in is wrong. What is it called? Yes, no, yes. What's this segment called?
This segment's
Is it
called
bad?
Unpopular Opinions.
Unpopular opinion. Yeah, exactly.
But
I think we've busted this myth. This person's opinion
what's the segment
is
called?
unpopular.
Mythbusters? What's the segment called? So you think you can have an opinion?
So you think you can tramp? Yeah.
I just want to be clear, Nina. I am not against all trampolines. Like in a professional,
Hashtag
hermetically
not all
sealed, not all
trampolines.
tramps. Like you're talking about a sky zone or whatever it's called. That's okay. But
Yeah.
just in a backyard, I'm not for it. I'm just going to read you this last unpopular opinion. We're not going to have anything to say about it, I'm guessing, but it just made me laugh. This is the unpopular opinion. Shrimps with the vein taste better. Yeah, this is what this person says. I was eating shrimp today and I forgot to devein a few of them. Weirdly, it turned out I found the shrimps that still had the vein on had more seafood flavor. I know everyone's going to say, oh, it's poop, that's disgusting. But according to multiple sources, it's safe to consume it. Right. So now what do you think happened in the comments? Everyone's like, dude, you just ate shit, that's disgusting. So on Reddit, people can like edit the thing they wrote. So this is the edit.
Yeah.
Edit. I'm not saying I'm addicted to eating shrimp shit. As I mentioned, I miss deveining some, which therefore means I always do devein my shrimp. But this time, it happened that I didn't get one, and the unclean one tasted better. So now all of a sudden, I'm shit-eating human trash. I'm 100% sure every shrimp eater has eaten the vein at least once, and I never saw any of them puke like they ate human shit. Okay? I just wanted that to be read. We don't need to say anything about it. Nina, I know you have to go, so there's only one thing we have to do, and it's very quick. It's called subjective trivia. So if you're
Okay.
wondering while this segment's happening, again, this segment's called subjective trivia.
Okay, great.
So earlier we were talking about how this person didn't like calling Australia Down Under. They thought it was offensive. But in my opinion, and it seems in your opinion, Down Under is a fucking cool-ass nickname for a country. So I just thought, what other countries, off the top of my head, can I say have a nickname? So JD, please put up the slide here. So here are your options. Now, you're going to have to pick one. I have my answer written on this card. Our goal is to get our answers to match.
Oh, so do I have to pick one, like the coolest one? Is
Yes,
that the vibe?
that's the question. Which of these is the coolest country nicknames? Here are your choices.
In Matt's opinion. In
my
Matt's opinion.
Normally I explain this a lot better, but something's thrown me here and I've really pooched it, but we're not going to retake it. So again, the question is, which of these countries has the coolest nickname? And here are your choices. Canada, the Great White North. Japan, Land of the Rising Sun. Ireland, the Emerald Isle. Or Russia, the Motherland. So again, I have my answer written here. JD doesn't know my answer, so you can consult with him. But what do you think is the coolest country nickname?
Well, like I'm biased because I'm half Japanese. Like I'm Japanese and Australian. So I'm going to say Land of the Rising Sun.
What, just because you're from there? I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking pick that. Spoiler.
Okay,
Yeah,
Great White
but,
North
like-
is out.
But like Japan has like, we've got weird pride, man. And then like everyone's obsessed with us. So like, I just think Land of the Rising Sun is dope. Like look at our flag. So cool. Like that big red dot. Ah, classic.
Okay.
And like, yeah, I think you're a weeb. So I'm going with... Do you know what a weeb is?
No, whoop whoop.
No, a weeb, it stands for weeaboo. It's like a white person that like loves Japanese culture and like anime and stuff.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of them out there. So I'm gonna go with Land of the Rising Sun.
Okay. Stupid question, but is that what the flag is? Is it a giant rising sun?
I think so.
That's the flag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Good for them. Okay, well, you're wrong.
Oh!
The answer is the motherland. Are you fucking...
Wow.
I mean, I know Russia's been in the news lately, not for all good reasons, but the motherland is fucking badass. Like, it says pride to me, but it's also like, don't fuck with us. This is the motherland.
It does sound like the mothership, you know? It sounds
Yeah.
like... Yeah. But I also, you know what? Like... heaps of people hate their moms, so, like...
That's true, too.
Well...
I feel like you're like playing like work. You're like, I love the motherland because I love all moms are superheroes. If there are any moms listening right now, I love you. I love the motherland.
I love women so much, I
wish-
went to an all-girls school.
Yeah. I wish all lands were motherlands.
Oh. So true. And, you know, that's why my favorite place to swim is Mother Ocean and live on Mother Earth. Gaia is, you know, that's
Exactly.
my religion. That's who I pray to.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
So just these life-giving beings, you know. We don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about it enough. How we wouldn't be here without women, you know?
Exactly. We wouldn't. So all women are amazing and their bodies are so good.
And that's why they should all film themselves. And if they happen to
Having
lose it,
sex tapes.
that's, you know.
I actually
not our
do
fault.
think all women should film themselves having sex with someone they trust for their own consumption. I actually think it like will put you like I think it did something to my self-esteem. I think it made me more confident.
Okay.
Actually,
well,
do you
Nina,
think that-
Nina
I-
doesn't think men have body image issues. Okay.
Well,
guess
and men too if they want, but I don't really want to see that. You know, like I think like women should film themselves masturbating and send it to me. You know, like
Oh, okay.
yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
well, this is actually the perfect part of the podcast because this is where I ask you where people can find you. So just send out your email because you can't really.
No, don't. Please
DM.
don't send me. But people have sent me messages of them masturbating, men and women.
Do you ask for this on every podcast you go
No,
on?
I never asked for it. That's the thing. It's non-consensual, and I asked for it purely as a joke. Please do not. I don't want to see
Okay, people, she's a comedian. Everything she
anyone
says isn't
masturbating.
true.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just say
you
you're
don't
a fan
have.
of
Well,
her
you
comedy.
can. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it because on Instagram you can tell. You can see like the blur in it, and then you're like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's like in Hollywood how people are like, don't send me your scripts because, you know, like I could get into legal trouble if I read it and then later on there's a similar plot on the show. So blanket statement, I'm not going to read any of them. So you could
Yeah.
send Nina all the masturbating sex tapes you have. She's not looking at any of them. So you're just really wasting time.
No, I get really stressed out. I don't know what to do with it. I feel stressed.
Okay. Well, where can people
Please
find you to
don't.
find out where you're going to do comedy or something normal like that?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, nina.oyama, and Twitter at Nina Oyama. One word.
That's right.
And that's it.
Go check out our
That's
pinned
the tea.
tweet. It's a banger. Remember to check us out, patreon.com/isthisgood, and you can email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. This was one for the books, Nina. Thanks for listening. Thanks in
Well, what
advance.
I want it to be is one for the podcasts, preferably, but I'll take...
Oh, well, I didn't tell you our process. What we do is we record this, then we
We-
transcribe it, and then we just
Oh.
send it as an email to all our listeners, so our subscribers, I
great.
should say. So you look forward to getting this in your inbox. I'm Matt Austin. And this was good. We'll see you next week. Pray for Nina's sex tape.
Thank
To
you.
not
Pray
come
for my
out, by the
sex
way.
tape.
To not come out. Just
I may well like to come out. I don't mind. Pray for just as long as you're praying for me, I don't mind. I love attention.
All right. Pray for Nina.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.